On the 7th day of Christmas, my true love sent to me 7 swans a swimming 6.
You own a Sega Master System, and you want some good, cheap games representing the lineup of this great system to buy first. And you want them with some tenuous link to Christmas, presented one a day while you're lying on the sofa watching your 16th James Bond movie in a week. On the 7th day of Christmas, my true love eBayed me Speedball. Look, it begins with S. What more do you want? So, elephant in the room. Most people barely remember there was a Speedball. They probably think it's like Street Fighter and 2 was the first game. Yes, I know there's a Street Fighter 1, don't write in. But it's fair to say the famous game is the second one. It's iconic, converted to virtually everything, albeit with various levels of success. So why am I advising this one? Well, a few reasons actually. Firstly, I've already said the other game is on everything. You probably have it there. There's an excellent Mega Drive version, for example. There isn't a Mega Drive version of this first game. Secondly, I think this one suits the Master System. I'll explain in a second, but it won't surprise you to know the original is less complex than its sequel and feels more at home here. And lastly, I think it's an underrated game in general. This, make no mistake, isn't like Street Fighter, where the second one completely invalidates the existence of Game 1. These are two pretty different games that are both excellent. The first impression with Speedball on the Master System is glorious. The Speedball 2 music is, of course, iconic, but just take a listen to this. Punchy, strong, announces itself immediately. If you remember the Speedball 2 intro, it talks about how the original Speedball League descended into chaos amid corruption, violence and cheating. I remember thinking even at the time, well that sounds like a pretty fun game, why can't I play that one? Well, you can. Playing Speedball is nice and simple. The play area doesn't scroll sideways like 2 does. There's slightly fewer players, and many fewer of the wild array of multipliers and bonus point opportunities that the second game has. This is a game that knows what it is. You've got 2 goals, a few players, a couple of bumpers, and a punch people in the face button. So it's an immediately understandable game once you figure out you control the goalkeepers. It's the anti-football game. 1 button to throw when you have the ball, or do a violence if you don't. Each goal is worth 1 point. Each round is a little knockout group, so you can even afford to lose the odd match. Speedball is just fun, and as you can see is flawless technically on the Master System, throwing some chunky stuff around the screen in admirable fashion and exactly as responsive as you'd like. The only real gameplay trick we alluded to earlier. The coins you pick up during the matches allow you to perform several corruptions, like giving yourself extra skill, or, much more fun, by bribing the guy on the timer to end the match at an opportune time, or bribe their trainer to recommend 16 Big Macs as a pre-match snack. I love it. You can stick it in to blow off steam in virtually no time, and it's got a 2-player mode to boot. There are 2 releases of this game on Master System for bankruptcy reasons, but other than the logo on the title screen, both the Virgin and Imageworks releases are very, very cheap and completely identical. Here's one of each that sold on the same day for well under a tenner earlier this month. Alternatives? Well, obviously there's Speedball 2. The Master System did get a very nice version of that. If you don't have it on another format, there's no reason not to buy that here. It's Speedball with some extras, and despite everything I've said, there's a reason it's a classic in its own right. Here's another though. The other Bitmap Brothers game on the system, Xenon 2. A shoot 'em up with somehow even more of an iconic soundtrack than the Speedballs. Here's how that sounds on the Master System. Xenon 2 pushes the SMS up to, and beyond, its limits, and it shows. But it's mostly still here, and it's amazing to see this even slightly get thrown around by a machine with the same CPU as the ZX Spectrum. Join us tomorrow for maids a milking.
On the 7th day of Christmas, my true love sent to me 7 swans a swimming, 6 geese a laying, 5 gold rings,
4 calling birds, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves,
and a partridge in a pear tree.